button and you send it in, and it just seemed like this bureaucratic hole I sent it into. And then I met the team from the VTA, and I was shocked. Melissa and Adriano and Lindsay and Nagan, that whole entire group, it wasn't just a bureaucratic group. They were wonderful. They were super supportive. They created a community. They got us all together, all the grant winners, and the core of what they were trying to do was creating a community. And it really was a wonderful experience, completely not what I expected, and really appreciated that. I also don't think they thought how much work it was going to be to get this thing going. Because you have to understand, the land we're on right now is owned, the land we're on right now is owned by Caltrain. The building is Mountain View, and the tenant is VTA. And even though we knew two of the partners, VTA, it wasn't like Melissa's group was the group that's responsible for approving the building or anything that's done to the building. So she had to work within the VTA and find out who it was. Before that, they had to find out the contract. So there was a contract written about 25, 26 years ago with these three organizations. Of course, 26 years ago, no one that wrote that contract is still there on the committee. And Susie and Cliff came up with 16 different artists that they thought would work well. And then I reached out, and out of that, 9 applied. And then we looked, and Susie was great. She was the artist of the group who told us, people are going to be walking across this area. They're not going to be standing right next to the murals. We need something graphic that can grab you, that's colorful and graphic. And the next one was Patrick Thomas. So we looked at his work, and after she gave us that description of what we should be looking for in art, there was no doubt in my mind that his artwork, or any of our minds, we all looked at it, and all of us unanimously was like, we need to use John, because his work is nice and graphic and simple, so that from far away you can really see what it is. Then, poor John, he then got involved with our group. The panels tell another story of Mountain View. So the first one is the Ohlone. The second one is when the Spanish came. The third one is the Americans. It was mostly Chinese and Japanese that were in this area. The fourth one is the historic buildings of Mountain View. And the fifth one on this side is the technology, so more recent times, the technology. And on the back side, we talk about Stevens Creek Trail. So it starts in Shoreline and goes up to Rancho. And that's where I need to thank Catherine Preston over at the Stevens Creek organization, because we reached out to her. He worked with us, and they were great. I have to say I was really lucky, because I just didn't realize how many positive, good people. I never ran into anyone that was no, and we can't do this, and we don't have time, and this is too hard. Everyone was like, this is great. It's just that things take longer than you think, much longer than you think. Because about a year ago is when we chose the art, and it took years before we could get the art up, because again, I was telling you, Caltrain, Mountain View, VTA, multiple passes, contracts, we had to get lawyers involved, all kinds of stuff, and it just takes time. Nothing moves that fast. So 2 years, and we finally got this up, and I'm thrilled to be able to say that 2 years of my life went into this, and look at it, it's beautiful. This is Arts Mountain View's second project. We did, so the next person up is our mayor, Emily Ramos.
Stay hydrated, y'all. It's really hot out here. All right. So good afternoon, everyone. I'm Emily Ramos, the mayor of Mountain View. I would like to also acknowledge my council colleagues who are here, Councilmember Kamei and Councilmember Showalter. Say hi. It is my pleasure to be with you today at the Mountain View Train Depot as we dedicate this new piece of public art. Mountain View through time, 8 windows into our history, brings color and vibrancy to our downtown transit center, turning a daily commute into a truly engaging experience for everyone who passes through. These windows connect us to the roots of our community and showcase the evolution that defines Mountain View, celebrating our history. This project was a major collaborative lift. I want to extend a sincere thank you to the Visual Arts Committee for their advocacy for the arts and for bringing this project to life, VTA for their partnership in enhancing this space, to the 300 block of California Street as part of our Boulevard beautification project. John, along with 4 other talented local artists who painted bollards along Castro Street, has truly helped bookend downtown with creativity. Now, this installation reflects the City Council's ongoing commitment to investing in the cultural fabric of Mountain View. Through foundational policies like the Percent for Art policy and the Mountain View Center for Performing Arts lobby, gallery, and exhibitions, the Council continues to ensure that creativity is woven directly into our civic spaces. We are expanding that support even further with our upcoming public art strategy and the creation of a dedicated public art administrator position to guide our future vision. Whether through long-term planning or special community initiatives like these artistic panels, Council is proud to champion a more expressive and connected Mountain View. I would now like to invite VTA board member and
So our county and our cities are hard at work welcoming visitors from the 2026 World Cup, and now they have another marker to note, one of our beautiful transit hubs in Mountain View. This installation shows several partnerships working together, transit advocacy through art, the history of Mountain View, which I've been a big supporter of education, and I know students just love learning about the past, so that's wonderful. And VTA's coordination with Caltrain here at the train depot. So as you know, I'm a strong supporter of youth, and especially when it intersects with transit advocacy. So learning about history is all about education, educating our next generation about our past. And VTA's many more transit-oriented community grant projects actively progressing throughout our county. Really exciting. And I want to quickly thank the VTA TOC grants and outreach team for helping workshop applications. With all of the interested organizations that applied. That's wonderful. So today's ribbon cutting is thanks to VTA's partnership with the Arts Mountain View, who is the grantee of the Transit-Oriented Communities Grant Program. As a result of VTA's grant money towards the project, they will be able to bring this art to life. The grant award for this project is $15,000, which I am told will be finished being paid out following the end of this event. So exciting. So thank you again for being at today's ribbon cutting celebration. And I'd like
passion for detail, clear feedback, and drive for quality ensure that we are now looking at the best of the best. The entire VAC is thrilled with the result and proud to play a role in helping Arts Mountain View bring John Patrick Thomas's fine work to the plaza. And now it's my pleasure to introduce the artist John Patrick Thomas to speak.
Thank you. I apologize I didn't prepare anything special ahead of time, but I'm just blown away by the support that I've gotten from Mountain View across all of the different levels I've worked with, from Anita's first email to working closely with the whole Visual Arts Committee, fabricators, everybody involved. I've just been blown away by how the whole process was so collaborative, and how much they trusted my vision and how much I learned from people who are involved with the project. Huge thank you to Anita and Arts Mountain View, the committee, and everybody involved. And I really would encourage people to go to Arts Mountain View through the QR codes and read the stories and the explanation write-ups that were beautifully written and really give like insight to the content of each of the panels. So,
Thank you, John, for closing that out, and thank you to just thank you everyone for being here despite the heat. It's really hot out, and we also came out to celebrate, so really appreciate that. So just to wrap up the formal portion of this, we're gonna, before we break for refreshments, we're gonna invite all the participants, the project partners, up to help with the ribbon cutting, get some photos. So Arts Mountain View, BTA team, Mountain View Historical Association, Visual Arts Committee, Mayor Ramos, and John Patrick. Please come up and join us for a photo so we can all cut the ribbon together. Once we've captured it, please stick around. We'll be able to go get some reprieve from the heat and savvy sellers.
Okay, so we're going to do a picture before we actually cut. All right, everyone got their pictures before the cut? Are we good? All right. Okay, we're going to count down. 3, 2, 1.
oh no, this is my friend.
Oh no, Jamil didn't drinks left over at the table right here, so if anyone wants any more refreshments or snacks.
Okay. And can my daughter apply for it?
Are you all the art nerds? Or are you the biggest art nerd? I'm the biggest art nerd. But they're all nice. Thank you for coming. Yes, of course. So cool.
Wonderful. My boyfriend was the manager.